Hello everyone and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Edge. My name is Varun. I'm the co-president of the E-Cell here at Blackshaw University, and with us today we have Dr. Radhika Trikha, who is the CEO of the Innovation and Technology Foundation at IIT Ropar. It's a pleasure to have you, ma'am.
Same here. It's wonderful to be in such a vibrant campus and to be among the vibrant faculty, vibrant students like you. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much. So to start off, maybe we could dive a little deep into your journey. So I saw you have done your higher education in biotechnology, went on to work in research, and now you're sort of fostering innovation and entrepreneurship at IIT Ropar. So what was your thought process like behind these fields that might seem diverse or different on a higher level, and what led you to do the things that you did?
Thank you for this question. This question is in fact very dear to me because I have taken many tough decisions in my life when I was rooting away from what academically I was trained of. If I start with an academic training, so I got academic training in biotechnology, then moved towards microbial biotechnology, so trained as a microbiologist. So till my doctorate I was in biotechnology field. I was gold medalist in my graduation, post-graduation, and got an Inspire fellowship. Very keenly working in microbiology. Still microbiology is very dear to me, like talking about the life forms, about plants, about microbes, about animals. But somehow during my PhD, I cracked the thing that why that satisfaction as a researcher we are not getting, because my PhD took me around 4 to 5 years to complete my PhD. The research grants were not coming in time. There were many other impediments that forced me to look into how science is being governed in the country. So that motivated me, and along with my guide we got to know about one new area, that was science policy research. So I went into the science policy domain. I studied about what science governance is all about. Then down the line after my doctorate I did 2 postdoctorate to understand how science administration in our country goes. So I did one in understanding how the interconnectedness between the partners play very important role, like what is the role of academia, industries, the government coming together, the triple helix that we all talk about. Then I studied about that. That further gave me a nudge that why not let's explore how science, technology, innovation ecosystem works. Then I started working about innovation management. I studied about what intellectual property management is all about, how we need to focus on IPs, are we well aware about IPs or not. As a researcher, are we giving that knowledge to the young researchers to study about it. So in the journey I studied about intellectual property management. Then a very fantastic field I get into one of my policy fellowship, that was science diplomacy. So we have heard a lot about political diplomacy, how the country's political dimensions work, but we never talk about how science plays a very important role when we talk about the diplomatic relations between the country, like the nuclear deals that are happening. So they have the scientific diplomacy angle also. Like G20 was a great success that India under the Indian presidency, because we signed number of science diplomatic kind of deals that were done, like biofuels, bioenergy deals that we have done. So I studied about how science diplomacy can be done, international science management can be done. So why I said your question is very, very important, especially when we talk about science, technology, innovation, we always think is whether we should go for a medical field or a non-medical field or a commerce field. We talk about these fields, arts field. When we talk about, like, I want to be in science, technology or engineering, we talk about medical and non-medical, but we are not talking about the alternative careers that we have in science, technology and innovation ecosystem. So I will like to give my example that I choose the path of an alternative science career. That is not exactly the traditional career options that we have. Like we can go into IP professionals, like I went into science management. Right now I'm managing the innovation ecosystem. Like now we have number of entrepreneurship driven courses, entrepreneurship, how you have to manage entrepreneurship, how you have to guide startups. So number of alternative career opportunities are there, and I think so our young students, and not only the students but also the working professional, they should get indulged into these alternative career options also, and that can take you from one path to different path, and it's definitely a very satisfactory path.
Yeah. So now that you're working in the innovation ecosystem, particularly in agriculture and water tech, what are some latest innovations that are very promising, and also what are current gaps that we should see today where there is opportunity?
When we talk about agriculture and water, these are the national priority, not just for our country, but I think so across the globe. Why we are doing, what work we are doing, it's always like we have to get a good food, we have to survive. That is how the civilization started. For the food, we are juggling in between all these, what we are presently doing. So agriculture is one thing on which the country works. So there is a quote that I always quote: if agriculture goes wrong in the country, then nothing can go right in your country. So and of course India is an agrarian economy. We are based out of an agriculture. We are the food basket for the globe itself. With the green revolution, we brought the food on the global map for what India can do with the green revolution that happened. But it's time for us now, like everyone is seeing how agriculture is being not able to match up to the modern agriculture practices in the country. Why? Because India is such a complex country. India is such a diverse in terms of when we talk about not only for agriculture, but everything. It is so diverse, it is so complex. So agriculture needs a special attention, and when we talk what we are doing, we are providing the technology interventions to agriculture and water. Water is the other thing. It's been projected by 2050 we would be struggling for a few drops of water even. So it's a very serious concern. Right now we are not taking that as an immediate attention area, but I saw one of the picture being posted by UNESCO that talk right now we are finding water in our bottles, but in 2050 water you would be finding in your tears. So that was really a moving picture that I saw there. But what important point I am trying to make, both these agriculture and water are the necessity of life, and these are the national priorities for us. And what government through the hubs that they have created, one at IIT Ropar and the other agencies and other academic institutes, research institutes, they are working to bring the modernization approach to agriculture. We call it a smart agriculture or a digital agriculture. How smartness we can bring in our agriculture, how we can make the digital technologies working for agriculture, that we are doing. You asked about few of the examples. I can give you one example. That's our international moonshot project that we are doing with one of an MNC, that's Syngenta Global. And many other international partners such as Fraunhofer is working with us, Alliance for Biodiversity is working with us, where what we are developing a technology that is going to take picture of the biodiversity that is existing in the farms. Why I am saying biodiversity we need to measure, because it's very important that right pollination happens into your farm, then only the productivity or the yield of crops will come. So suppose if bees are gone out of our entire ecosystem, no pollination is happening, no productivity is happening, no crops are growing, then what are we going to eat? Then there is no food. That this is a global problem that we are doing. There is a decline in pollinators. So with our technology, we are trying to capture what all these pollinators are existing on your farms, and then we are developing AI models to understand at this particular temperature, at this particular environmental condition, this is the population of particular pollinator. Then what kind of environmental conditions need to be provided such that these pollinators level should rise and a proper productivity and yield can be done. So this is one technology. We call it as our digital entomologist. It is a digital version of an entomologist. Entomologist is a doctor of pollinators that we have placed in the farmers, that give advisory to farmers. Now it's a time to sprinkle water, now it's time to cool down the weather that is there, this is the time to increase the moisture. So this kind of an AI modeling advisory we are providing to the farmers. Then another thing I think so, all our community will connect with us is developing an Agri-GPT model, where when we talk about these technologies, when we are developing these technology for our farmers, but farmers, they do not understand what are this AI you are talking about, what is this IoT you are talking about, what is machine learning. So in a very technology friendliness in their own language, we are explaining them so that we get feedback from them, because they hold that massive experience of their farm. So they are giving us feedback in their languages. We are developing the technology technology in their languages, communicating to them in their languages through Agri-GPT model that we are doing in collaboration with Bhashini and other agencies that are joining in this particular project. So this is one technology that we are working. Then many other technologies. One other technology for water, I will give you an example. That's a very interesting technology called nano bubble technology. Our faculty at IIT Ropar has developed that. Now the faculty turned into a startup. That's a startup now. It's called Nanokriti. So there we are generating nano bubbles that carry 300% more oxygen into the water. So very organically we are introducing these nano bubbles in the dirty water or a contaminated water or a polluted water, and naturally, because more of oxygen is coming, more of the metabolic activities of the bacteria is happening, and which are digesting the pollutants that are available in the water. So that is a natural way how we are removing the pollutants from the water and clearing the water. So this is one of the startup that we are working on. There are many more such technologies. Would be happy to share about them, and we are very active on social media. So we keep on developing these a kind of snippets of our technology and showcase on the platforms. I would be happy to take this discussion offline also about these technologies.
So thank you so much for elaborating on the latest sort of innovations that are going on in the water tech and agriculture tech space. So this is one thing that I've noticed as well, is that startups in this space are typically deep tech. You mentioned, the Agri-GPT, which will have LLMs behind it, the AI model for detecting which pollinators exist in a farm. All of it is deep tech. So how can a 20-year-old student today who is passionate about agriculture, climate, water, because all of these are huge issues for us today, how can a 20-year-old student today create impact in these spaces if they might not have the required deep tech expertise to say?
That is why I think so the institutes like us are sitting, and the government has created such a massive platform. You have an idea, pitches to us, and then we will mentor you, we will handhold you together, we will understand what is your vision, because we need an problem that has been identified with an idea that you are proposing, and then let's work on it together. Government has number of very young supporting schemes for ideas itself. Like startup is a stage when you have developed your POC and then you have a product in hand and your startup is working on that. What before a startup? So let's talk about, you want to be an entrepreneurial, but you have not figured it out whether you want to start your own startup or not. Still you don't have that confidence. Like you said, you have an idea. So there are number of schemes. One such scheme I would like to mention, that's called Entrepreneur in Residence. Like you come, you stay with us as our student, and we will give you a fellowship under Entrepreneur in Residence that will help you to have a kind of a decent kind of a salary for you. And meanwhile, we will give you an environment where you develop on your idea, and that 6 months time is given to you where to struggle and understand whether your idea is going to work into a POC form, a prototype form or not. And when you would be confident after 6 months or a 10 month, you can start your own startup. I think so your question directly like it has that kind of eagerness. What kind of support mechanism is available for those who have generating ideas, but they do not have that kind of an environment where they can take this idea forward? For that, our innovation ecosystem enablers like Palaksha is there. Then in Chandigarh itself, we have nearly 28 academic and research institutes, and all of them are directly or indirectly supporting entrepreneurship. We have Innovation Mission Punjab here, we have Startup Punjab, we have Punjab State Council. They are providing number of base platforms where you can work on your idea. If your idea works, like from IIT Ropar, I am giving you one example of EIR. If your idea works, under our scheme, we name that scheme as Sprint. Sprint means I am giving you a first push and then you are going to run on that thing. So I think so for those ideas, the first push is required, and it's very, very important that we all should be fully aware what all schemes are available from the government. First stage, let's get into these government schemes where you get grant, you get the mentorship, you get the facilitation, and then once your startup is built up, then the whole story of a startup ecosystem starts.
So thank you so much for sharing about the government initiatives, and that is at a stage where a student does have an idea. What happens in universities today is and this is an example at Plaksha, let's say, there are a lot of students who are very entrepreneurial in nature, but they really haven't figured out what it is that they want to work on today. And now there are entrepreneurship cells, business clubs at all of these universities that are trying to sort of foster this entrepreneurial culture. So as someone that's worked in fostering innovation, what should these clubs at universities today do differently so they can foster entrepreneurship?
Right. So there are many different mechanisms that are coming up. At Palaksha itself, I have seen your Makers Lab is there that give you a kind of a creativity zone where you come, you apply your creativity and you develop POCs. Such kind of product studio labs, we call them, they are being built up now. They are being part of the Atal incubation centers that are being granted by the government, that you have to make a design lab, you have to make a product innovation lab where you give a test bed to a student where they will come, they will explore their ideas, they will do mix and match with the components and come up with some prototype where their faculty will then come in and they will mentor you in that. So that is one thing I think. So we all should have mini design labs or mini product studios that will give you an atmosphere of creativity where you can function on your basically the ideas that you have. The second is the right mentoring is what is needed. You talk about your idea to me, am I able to catch that idea and further I am able to guide you on that idea. You never know, a single guide that I have given you that will act as a tipping point for you. For every entrepreneur, for every person who wants to be successful in life, if you talk to them, they always have one tipping point in their life. Like for me, the one tipping point was when I shifted from science, doing science in practical to the science administration and governance. For you, the tipping point might be you had a word with some of the entrepreneur, get an idea how you have to take your startup, how you have to do the marketing, because startup itself is a own journey that you have to take care of product also, you have to take care of the marketing also, you have to take care of how you are relating with the customers and how our customers are getting benefit out of it, right note you are creating or not. So I think so that tipping point is required, and tipping point will come when you will talk more and more about it. And I think so where the collaboration is the key and where networking is the key. As a student, you should not feel that I'm not going to go to this event, I'm not going to talk to all those high profile people. You should. I mean, that will boost your confidence and that will help you to understand what is the tipping point for you to achieve that particular thing. So I think so the ecosystem that we are building here, specifically in Punjab and spreading in all the metro cities, it's that the collaboration, more of the talks, more of the kind of a network we are building, and where you alone cannot do everything. I mean, this is not possible. I am leading an innovation team there at IIT Ropar. I alone cannot do anything. I need my team to do, and team is what everything they are doing. So this is very important. The networking is what I think. So one message that I want to give it to the youth: maximum network, use the social media platforms. I mean, we are in that age where we can leverage the social media platforms. Be very, very active on LinkedIn. When I'm saying social media, it's not only Instagram or Facebook, it's not only Twitter. Be very active on LinkedIn. You never know from where the connections are made, how you are connecting with the investors. Many investors, they are looking for the young chaps that can be a face for their own idea. They want to project it to the world and they can take it forward. So just talk to them, just explore ideas, just flow your ideas out and see how it goes on. And I'm sure everyone will find their own tipping point there.
That's great advice. Thank you so much. And before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to add or say to anyone who might be watching this?
Sure. So one thing I definitely want to first wish every one of you to be very, very successful. Success doesn't being counted as a kind of a monetary benefit you are getting or the other accessory benefits you are getting. It's the satisfaction that you should get out of your work. That is one thing that we should understand as a startups, as an entrepreneur. This is very, very important for the work you are doing. It is for the greater good, greater impact in the country, with the social impact, and you all should be very, very satisfactory for that. And it's a struggling time, and we as an ecosystem enablers, we are always there for you. At IIT Ropar Technology Innovation Foundation, you can approach us. We provide many internship opportunities. We call them as our Chanakya fellows. We make them work with the startup, so that you as an entrepreneur, you're very excited to work in a startup. Then you come to us, then I will appoint you to one of our startup who is in their middle journey, so that you get a feel of a startup, how startup feels, what are the struggles they are facing. It's not always a rosy picture saying that I'm a CTO or I'm a CEO of a startup, I'm a founder of a startup. It's not that rosy. There are a number of thorns that you have borne for that. So that will give you an idea, so how a startup can be run. So you can be part with us. Many hackathons we go on taking. There are number of programs that we are doing, number of mentorship challenges and everything that we are doing. Most welcome to be part of it. Our team is very active on social media. Leverage it, connect with us. You require support, you need to get connected with anybody. Take the benefit out of us, and we would be very happy to support. And it's always, like I mentioned, about networking is the key, the collaboration is the key. All the ecosystem enablers, the partners that are coming together, we all are creating a platform that can be leveraged by the youth to take it forward. And we are doing number of skilling in terms of the emerging technologies such as AI, IoT, like a very program that we run is the prompt engineering. We all are using ChatGPT like anything, but are we giving the right prompts to get the right answers? Now we have number of other platforms that are coming, like DeepSeek is there, others are being coming up. So what kind of a prompt should be given so that you get the right answer? So these are some of the new things that we are coming up, and I would like all of you to explore these things. We have AI minor course that is going, we call it AI for X, for anyone. I'm a microbiologist or you are from some other domain. If you want to apply AI into your particular domain, what you can do? So that training we are providing, we call it as AI for all or AI for X. That X you have to identify. So many other things are there, many exciting things are happening in India. We are very proud Indian. We are the youngest nation, and we are really hoping high that India will climb not only nationally, economically front, but also on the global front. So that is the message. So let's all build India together. We started with Make in India, then we came to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now it's time for a Viksit Bharat, where we are going to solve the global challenges also. So on this note, I once again thank you, the entire team, especially to you being a wonderful host. It's absolutely pleasure to talk to the young people, the young students, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think some great takeaways for me as well, and I'm sure there'll be great takeaways for everyone watching this. Thank you so much, everyone.